Hey y'all, it's Betsy with Happily Ever After, etc. and welcome back to another book video. So today I am very excited because I am finally filling out my book journal. So for the month of January, I read 22 books. And I'm going to be going through the yearly portion of my journal and coloring in the boxes on the goal chart and putting the little names on the little book spines for my bookshelf and all the things that I, drew out and put in place for the yearly tracking. I'm going to finally be filling out for the first month. Going forward, hopefully I will update it kind of as I go, but since I underestimated how long it would take me to design and put together my book journal for this first year, not knowing what I wanted it to include or what I wanted it to look like. It's literally the end of January before I have the chance to even start filling things in. So it is what it is. I don't know if I will do this video every month or not, because if I kind of fill it in as I read, then there won't be a big election at the end of the month to fill in 22 books at a time. But for now, we're going to fill in what I have, get it in the book, and then we will go forward deciding how I'm going to do that as I go. And that's good enough. So if you want to see me fill out everything and update my book journal for the month of January and the first 22 books I read, stay tuned. All right, y'all. So I am so ready to finally start updating this baby. So we will see how this goes, both doing it and doing it on camera. I do have all my pens and supplies ready. I have my little cheat sheet for colors, but I think for January, I'm going to use this color. And I do have a few books I've already read in February. I'm going to use the next darkest color, I believe, which are these two at the bottom. I do have my spreadsheet, so I keep a spreadsheet that I update every time I read a book. So this is just, Google Sheets. These are the 22 books I read in January. These are the 5 books I've read so far in February. So that's what I will be kind of referencing. This is a whole big spreadsheet that I've used over the last year. And we will see how far we get. I haven't put anything in here except for the books on my reading list. I did those as I read. So I'm honestly not even 100% sure which pages I will need to update as we go. So that's the first page. Good to know. And my reading goals. So this will be fun. So I'm going to color these in, and I've decided I'm going to do it according to month. So since I read 22 books in January, let me move this aside. I'm going to color in the first 22. Oh, it makes me nervous to start, but I just have to start. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mainly, I want it to not smear, if I can help it, over the numbers. So far, knock on wood, doing pretty good with that. And I used my Micron pen for all the writing, which is supposed to be, archival ink. But I do find it smears when you go over it sometimes. Typically, though, if you don't wait for it to fully dry. That's a me problem. So this will be my first questions of, does it smear if I really let it dry? Because these have been dry for a while. This is one of the first pages that I did. Perfect. This little cap is trying its hardest to die. So, if anybody knows where to get replacement caps, I actually think I want to do this one for February. So in February, I have read 5 books, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the first week. I loved it, but Wild Reverence took me like 3 days to get through, you guys. Every once in a while, especially with a physical book, I just have one that takes me forever to read. That's okay. I mean, it's not a race. Hey, those did not smear. That makes me very excited. All right. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, next book. So this is going to be fun because I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm going to fill in. So if I look here, I think I'm just going to do it by series, except for if it's like a specific one like the Wolf King where they're real, I don't know, I call them real books for lack of a better word. But I mean, Unearthly is real, Caraval is real, but I'm like, do I write Caraval, Legendary, Finale? I don't know, I go back and forth. So let's just start filling them out and we will go from there. So we're gonna do Unearthly, We Who Will Die, The Wolf King, Daydream, Never Ever After, Caraval, A Novel Love Story, and Baking Me Crazy. So that's the first one of each series going through. And then we will see. The other thing I have to decide is if I'm going to go in sequence or kind of sporadically. And I think I'm going to go in sequence. I have 75 spots here, so that's why I'm being so judicious. I'm going to have to add more books at some point. There's no way, even if I just count series, that won't need more. But yeah. Either way, I'm going to fill them in and then write because I don't want the ink to smear since I haven't let it set. So we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. So let's color them in. And I know that different people do different things as far as the colors go, you know, whether they mean fiction, nonfiction. Some people do audiobooks versus non-audiobooks, or physical versus whatever. I honestly am just coloring it the colors that I like. I don't feel the need to track anything specific. I just picked markers for this year that I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to color in as I go. So these are the pens, and they're the ones I'm going to be using. I need to check how in frame I am. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Oh, I'm right in the middle of the frame. I'm so good. Okay. Once I start getting used to these, then I'll kind of have a good idea. But for now, it's kind of hard to keep everything straight as to which color is which. Some of them are going to look pretty similar. That's okay. two 723s for some reason. Those do look pretty similar. Which I'm not mad about, but I also don't want that to happen too often, which is the whole point of the chart. Let's try this one here. I also haven't decided if I'm going to color in the shelves. I was going to color them in the darkest of my pinks, but then I was like, well, I don't want it to match anything on the shelves. So, I mean, I have lots of other pens. I could easily go pick a way darker pink. Or I could do black or brown or like a shelf color. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. All right, so then for this month, I need 4, so. Oh, that takes us to the end of this bookshelf. That's interesting. I'm going to do these two same. I want to do Wild Reverence and Divine Rivals right next to each other. And I think they'd be cute together, the same. All right. Depending on if I make, you know, more bookshelves to go in, I can always make more books for the ones I'm not including now. Let's grab a pen. I think I'm going to go with a 2.1. I want a skinny writing. All right. I am going to go ahead and do these two first since I don't want to forget what I saved them for. So. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, it makes me very happy. this. Let's go ahead and do Caraval here. Because it's so little. And I didn't really plan to do two different writing styles, but that's, I don't know how I end up doing a lot of my titles. I just think it looks pretty, so it doesn't surprise me. All right, we'll do Unearthly here. We Who Will Die is not that long. So which one is long? I guess let's just do the Wolf King. Unearthly, We Who Will Die, Wolf King, Worth the Fight. In my monthly spread, I will have the full list of everything I read, not just by series, but you know, I just find it when you read too many books, hard to put every single one on every single thing. If that makes sense. I also just didn't really want to include 8 million pages for my library, but if I really enjoy doing it, next year I will. Okay, so I love it. All right, let's get this reorganized before we move on to the next part. Excellent. So I don't, I do love it, but these colors, well, I picked pinks, don't necessarily go with this page, but it's fine. I wanted it to go with, you know, like using the same ones throughout the whole journal. I want it to go with the whole journal. So some pages that have a little more blues may not be perfect. That's okay. I did want to add on here, what's that book? Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. No, Haymitch's book. Is that Haymitch's book? I don't think it is. Why can I not remember? It's literally in the other room, which is why I want to add it to this list because I forgot it. Sunrise on the Reaping. I could not think of that. I have it displayed in my living room, so it's not on here for some reason. Ooh, I get to fill in one of these. All right, so let's see. These are my books from last year that I've had more than 6 months. The ones on my physical TBR are all things that I've had less than a month. So I made a special cart just for the books I've had more than 6 months, and these either need to be read or read for the end of the year because I don't unhaul books. But you also cannot live here forever. So I read Chasing the Wild. Spoiler alert, not my favorite. It was fine. I enjoyed it, but it is the first book in a series. I will not be continuing the series. I bought it on a whim because I just loved the pretty edges. So I did like it. But it's an age gap romance, which is not my favorite. And if I had read, this is why I try to read the description before I buy things. If I read the description, I wouldn't have bought it. But it was good. It was just not for me. All right, I still need to fill these in later. So is that it? Surely that's all. Not everything I have to fill in. No, I have stuff at the back. All right, I do have pictures that I cut out to put in here. Ooh, yes, we get to do this for January. Okay, so this is going to be fun because some of these stats I have easily available. Some I'm gonna have to figure out. So let's see. I did already do my hauled. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. No, so that's a title 6. So I've hauled 6 books this month. Now it is deceiving, but I count books as hauled when they arrive. So even though like both of these Bridgerton books I ordered months ago, King of Ravens was this month. Wild Reverence I pre-ordered months ago. I count pre-ordered books when they arrive, not when the money comes out. It just makes more sense in my brain because I typically try to read a book the month it arrives. So like Wild Reverence got here a few days ago, I will read it within the month. You know, King of Ravens got here a few days ago, I will read it within the month. I don't like to wait on things like that, or I end up with the books on my little TBR cart. And those are typically not pre-orders. Those are books like Chasing the Wild, like I just said, that I picked up on a shopping trip sporadically. It was stupid. Anywho, back to filling this out. So I do have tracked my physical, Kindle Unlimited, and audio. So audio was 1. Physical is blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I just like to double count. That should leave 10 books. Oh no, I put the Kindle Unlimited in the wrong spot. Well, it's fine. It was just a 1. I can fix that, I'm sure. Pink is Kindle Unlimited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kindle Unlimited. Fixed. All right, so of these books, how many did I own prior to this month and how many were on my TBR? That's a good question. So technically Unearthly should have been on my hauled list, but it is what it is. I forgot about it. So which ones did I? The Bold is 6 stars. 1, 2, 6. The outlines are 5 stars. Owned and TBR is confusing me as to what I meant by that. I wrote this. Give me a minute, y'all. I'm gonna have to look up how many pages each of these books had, and I will think about what owned versus TBR meant at the same time, because the things I own are on my TBR. Or did I just mean books from this month's TBR? Because I do have a TBR. I think so. I think that's what I meant. So let's look for my TBR from this month, which is right here. So of my TBR, I read all but one because it hasn't got here yet. So that's not my fault. That's not my fault. But still gonna mark it because it is technically on the list. So this is 4 books. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I read 14 of 15 books off my TBR. And I would have read Cold Wire if Fairy Loot had sent it to me. All right. And then owned. So books I previously owned or books that I currently own as opposed to Kindle. That doesn't make any sense. I think it must, I'm going to count it as books that I owned prior to this month, not hauled books. So I think just one, Daydream, I've owned for months. This I hauled, this I hauled, this I hauled, and this I hauled all in December. So again, if I read it within 30 days of buying it, I count it as hauled it and read it within the month. So 1. All right. Let me see how many pages I read. All right. Math. 8,272 pages in January. Whew, okay. Let's see what else we have to record. And we're gonna have a few pages I'm not thrilled about. We're gonna have to wait on because I forgot my stickers that I made at my mom's house. So I will fill out my book bracket, my 2 6-star books. Did save some quotes, but I'm gonna have to look those up. So that might be it for this video. No, I was gonna add some back here in the A to Z. So I added Caraval already. I was going to add Unearthly and We Who Will Die, because I feel like these letters at the end are going to be hard to find. So let's add them. And Unearthly. Perfect. And I think that is it. I will probably add some bingo prompts and fill in at least 1 or 2 of those for the month. But that is it for filling in January in my yearly spread. I am sorry that I forgot those stickers. I literally printed them and cut them and prepped them at my mom's house and then forgot them. And I'm not going to worry about it for this video. I will be filling out my monthly books. I also, I'm going to fill in which days I read. I've got my book haul already filled out, but I've got to finish these pages. I want to do the pictures of the books I read. I also printed all of those. And then I'm going to start after my reading bookshelf for the month and my TBR. I'm going to start on my actual book reviews. But I'm going to go through and fill out all this first part, the monthly portion, probably tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to see my mom tomorrow morning. So I will fill in all my pictures for January when I fill out the January portion of my monthly journal. And that's good enough. If you really want to see that, check out the January book. So thank you so much for hanging out with me as I filled in the very first portion of my reading journal for the year. I really liked it, and I was surprised, really surprised that more of those pages didn't smear. I even went and bought new pens. I wanted different sizes for writing that didn't smear when I did my book bingo and all that. And after my crayon dried, she was good. She was archival. So I am happy, very, very happy. And I will see y'all in the next video where I will hopefully be more prepared because it won't be the first time I filled this out. Bye.